Hi everyone. Have you ever been on a health journey and thought, what is my problem? What I try to do works for everybody else but not for me. Ah, that's not the issue. The opportunity is that there is something unique about you that you have yet to discover. Hi, I'm Cheryl Townsley, naturopath and wisdom coach. And you know, it's great to go through all the schooling, get all the credentials, all the diplomas. You know, that teaches you about what's in a library, a current library, hopefully. But when you add wisdom, which comes from almost 30 years of experience of working with tens of thousands of people from around the world, you begin to discover simple little items that have been overlooked, that have caused people to get so frustrated and be ready to quit. Whether it's working on hormones, hot flashes, or whether it's working on inflammation or weight or mental clarity, or being able to sleep, or having energy. Today I want to take one of those unique characteristics that you all have, but you may not have discovered how it's impacting your health. The reason I'm sharing this story is just last week working with a woman over 45, and she was dealing with hot flashes. She had dealt with all the hormone treatment, she had changed her diet, and she couldn't figure out why she couldn't get rid of hot flashes. But because she's in our Youthful and Fit program, and I teach what's unique about her blood type, which I'm going to share in a minute, she made one little change. It wasn't a supplement, it wasn't a change in food, it was one little change, and all of a sudden the hot flashes went away. Now, what if you could discover simple little adjustments, course adjustments, that allow you to get so much better results? What is that unique variable that I'm going to talk about? It's your blood type. And most people in the US don't know their blood type. Totally surprising to me, even if they've had surgery. So there's several ways that you can find out your blood type. You can go ask your doctor. Almost never do they know, which again amazes me. If they do it, it's a very expensive test and insurance doesn't cover it. But out on Amazon, you can get a little home kit. It's one use, so it's one per person. Be sure you read the directions because you only get one use out of the kit. It's around $10. Very inexpensive. We did it as a homeschool project years ago with our family and discovered what our blood type was. Now, the other way you can do it is if you give blood, you ask them, they'll also tell you. Now, I read the books on blood type, and there's a lot of good information, but it gets confusing and it gets hard. And if you know anything about Cheryl Townsley as a wisdom coach, easy matters. Because if it's not easy, you won't do it, and your brain won't like it. So I just want to give you some quick highlights of the 4 blood types and how you can take advantage of it. And I'm going to give you some resources at the end so that you can further that if it's of interest to you. So I'm going to talk about the most common, which is blood type O. Now, what I have found out over the years is each blood type has a strength and they have a weakness. They have an area where stress seems to weigh down their bodies. Now, with blood type O's, they tend to have pretty good digestion, relatively good immune systems. Their challenge? Inflammation. Yes, inflammation, and it usually will impact lungs with breathing, or liver, might impact hormones. But a lot of weight for blood type O's, especially when it's in the midsection, is due to inflammation. Now, in our Youthful and Fit program, we help you identify inflammatory foods. With blood type O's, that's typically grains and dairy and sugar. Pretty common, which for us, that's why we went wheat-free, sugar-free, dairy-free 30 years ago, before it was the in thing to do. However, in addition to the inflammatory foods and inflammation, blood type O's, they de-stress with exercise. So the woman I spoke about at the beginning, when she started exercising, which she had laid off of due to an injury, she said, "Cheryl, I exercised, I felt better, I slept better, and the hot flashes went away." Well, of course it did. She's a blood type O. So in addition to getting exercise in, looking at your food choices, one of my favorites by far to deal with inflammation is OGF. It helps the body make glutathione versus trying to put the glutathione into your body, which won't go through your digestive tract. So you can go out to our website, CherylTownsley.com, find out more information. Every now and then, when the lymphatic system is sluggish for anybody, anything related to glutathione can create a problem because the detox pathways aren't working. So I've had, especially women, especially over 45, where OGF isn't working, we have a homeopathic called Inflammatone that can help deal with that inflammation. And who's that the most common for? Blood type O's. Now, what about blood type A's? Ta-da! I know that one really well because that's me. It's our daughter. Good news, we're typically clever and smart. The challenge is our digestion, our emotional sensitivity, and statistically, not declaring anything, statistically, blood type A's die 8 years younger than other blood types, most commonly cancer. So being a blood type A, I monitor digestion, which includes bowels, and my emotional stability. And when those two are doing well, Cheryl is doing well. When Cheryl is doing well, the whole house does better. So the two products or categories that really help me, digestive enzymes, this one, vascular, is the one to help with the digestion of fat. This became my very best friend at age 50. So almost 66 now. I've been using this for a very long time. The other thing that I discovered that's tremendously helpful as a blood type A are flower essences. So both in my book, Discovering Wholeness, I have a questionnaire, how to use flower essences as adults, with children, and even with pets. When you're a blood type A or emotionally sensitive, you're going to wonder why nobody told you about these Bach flower remedies before. You can find them in health food stores. You can find them online. There's a questionnaire on our website, so you could find the ones that would be best for you. I have about 3 or 4 that I keep on hand because they take me from being a mess back to useful very, very quickly. You can dilute them. You can apply them topically. You can put them in water under your tongue. Easy, inexpensive, lifesaver for us blood type A's. Now, blood type B's are completely different. They do well with exercise, but they don't want it to be quite as competitive as blood type O's. They're the people that tend to just really serve, and one of their challenges, they can overextend, which impacts hormones and their brain. Blood type B's, just like the A's, it's important that they work on digestion and emotions. Blood type B is so important to protect your brain. So what can you do to protect your brain? Well, first of all, you can learn how to relax, breathe, and get a good night's sleep. That's when the brain refreshes at night. But in addition to that, getting a good fatty acid, an essential fatty acid, is very helpful for the brain. Now, the other issue with essential fatty acids, because so many fish today, fish oil is touted as great. It is great unless the fish are contaminated with mercury, which is another impact to the brain. One of the reasons I like the OHS EFA is that it's vegetarian. It uses algae instead of fish. It also has flax oil, borage oil, so it's an all-purpose fatty acid. Smaller capsules, not the great big horse capsules. Now, if you ever take a fatty acid and notice that you're burping, then that's not a fatty acid that works well with your body. If you have trouble swallowing it, it's another sign that your body doesn't like the formulation that you're using. Now, you go, oh, I'm a blood type AB. That's the special group. Because what I have found is that the research I've read on AB, I find that it didn't work for most people. What I discovered over 25 years of working with blood type is that an AB will either be more like an A or more like a B. And once you discover that, then it becomes very easy to know how to adjust your life, your foods, and your supplements. In our Youthful and Fit program, it's designed for people specifically over 45, although we have people all the way down into their 20s and 30s successfully using it. In Youthful and Fit, we help you discover what's unique for you and how you can learn what your body is saying to you. You can discover your inflammatory foods. You can discover exercise that works for you. You can discover what's keeping you from sleeping or balancing your hormones. And most of all, be able to lose belly fat and the weight that sets you up for major health issues due to inflammation, regardless of your blood type. So if you're struggling in any area and you have tried program after program after program, isn't it time, instead of just using a program, that you discover the tools and the strategies that reflect your body so that you can customize it and let it work for you? So if you'd like more information on Useful and Fit or any of our other services, go out to CherylTownsley.com. Your wisdom coach to help you discover you're not a failure, you're not a loser, you are unique. And as you learn how to listen to your body, you'll discover breakthroughs and results you didn't think were possible. But they are, because you are unique. CherylTownsley.com. Let's go on this journey together.